Welcome to Girl, I Got Questions TV.
The talk show where we talk to women who are trying to pull it together and figure it out. And we are figuring it out right along with you.
Yes.
I am Shana Berkeley. I'm your neighborhood stylist, your stylist next door, here to teach you how to rock the trends in your real world.
And I'm Yasmine Williams-Woods. I empower women to conquer life and everything it throws at them by leveraging the courageous love of Jesus.
All right, so we are going to start this episode off the same way we start every episode with our question of the week. Now, before we talk about our question of the week, and I have it on my phone, I want to make sure you guys interact with us. Hop in the comments, let us know your thoughts, and follow us over on Instagram at Girl, I Got Questions TV, right?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. So our question, and this was inspired by a friend of mine who's like, every time I'm sitting around the house, I feel bad, and then when I'm moving around, I just want to sit around the house, right? Mm-hmm. So the question of the week is, when I'm relaxing, I feel lazy or unproductive, but when I'm working, I just want to relax. How do I find a good rest and work cycle in this phase in our lives?
Yeah.
You want to start?
What a good question. Yeah, I'll go ahead and start. Great question. I think I mentioned last week, I have to start by doing something that's physical and active, get my blood flowing. So my response would be to find you something that gets your blood going. If you're relaxing or working, because it'll just pump you up. And then start with the one thing. If you're wanting to be productive, start with something that you enjoy doing. Yeah. So you can do that thing, you're excited about it. Like, I'm a writer, so if I'm excited about a piece that I'm writing, then I'll start with that and say, for an hour, I'm going to work on this so I can get my excitement flowing. So we got energy, excitement. Okay. And then I stop that fun thing and go to the things I'm dreading. Because I don't want to get to the end of the day and I'm like, I still have not done these things. Yeah. So trying to go back and forth between what are the things you love to do and that energize and excite you, do those, set a timer on it, then go to the really hard things. And when you feel yourself getting tired again, go back to something exciting or do some jumping jacks. Do something to get your excitement and your energy, get those two things going. And so that's how I do it. And then I time everything out. I know that I'm gonna work on these emails for 30 minutes. I'm going to I put some 5-minute tasks in there. I need to respond to this text. Let me build in 5 minutes, because sometimes you don't feel like doing anything, but you're like, I can knock off 2 of these 3-minute tasks.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right, so let me ask you a question. So, and I know you have 4 kids, a part-time job, a husband, blah blah blah, right? All the things.
Yes.
So you have taken the kids to school, you've worked all day for, whatever things you have to do. You picked the kids up, you got them home, everybody got dinner, everybody ate, everybody in the bed. It's about 7:30, 8 o'clock, right? Now, you can relax. You can watch TV, you can take a nap. Not take a nap, it's bedtime. Right. You can spend time with your husband, chill, read a book, whatever. Or you can finish up tasks that have not been done.
Yes. How
do you decide what you're going to do? And whichever you do, how do you not feel guilty for doing that instead of the opposite?
Yeah. So I'm definitely going to go with finishing tasks. I love being productive. It gives me life. But I can relate to your friend who's sometimes I'm just tired. Sometimes I don't want to. But I love being productive, and I love the effect of being productive. So if I go ahead and do those tasks, then tomorrow is going to start on a 10. I'm just going to be, I'm not going to start my day behind. And that just does something refreshing, exciting for me, which helps me not feel guilty, right? Because now when I get my kids up the next morning, we got to do all the things again. I'm not irritated because I didn't finish X or I didn't have time to do what I needed to do. I'm not rushing because I need to make up time for the things I didn't do last night. Now I will say, if I do choose to relax and just chill, I make that decision by saying, what's driving my desire to be productive right now? Mm-hmm. Do I have anxiety around getting these tasks done? Am I feeling pressure and weight? If the answer is yes, then I'm not doing those tasks. Mm-hmm. Because I need to give myself grace. Jesus rested. I'm going to rest. I'm not doing anything out of pressure and anxiety. Right. But otherwise, I'm going to choose to do the task.
Okay. So it's like almost like positive affirmations, like tomorrow this will make it better. I won't start behind. Kind of changing your mindset about doing those tasks instead of it feeling like the grind. You sound like I get to do these things and I get to set my day up the way I want it to be the next day.
Yeah,
I get that. I like that. I need to probably try that because I think mine is different. And my boss told me this. He was reminding me like, you work hard and you should show yourself grace. And so I ask myself when I'm resting, am I resting because I'm lazy or I'm showing myself grace? Because my default is resting. My default is not work. My default is, girl, I love TV, I love movies, right? I like things that entertain me, and that's a long period of time. You can watch a movie in 3 hours, been gone by.
True.
You start at 6, baby, it's 9. You're like, God damn, I watch this all, you know?
Right.
And so my default is a rest mode. And so I'm like, okay, Shana, are you resting because you're tired? Are you resting because you're showing yourself grace? Are you resting as a reward for hard work? Or are you resting because you're lazy?
Yeah.
And
Or to avoid something.
Or to avoid something, right? And if the answer is the latter, then I honestly be praying, like, Lord, help me find some motivation. Or I get to a space like my desk, or I leave my house and I go to a place where I know my mind is wired to work. That's why people laugh, but I go to the library, public library, all the time.
Me too.
And do work. And my boss is like, you have a whole office, you have a house where you live by yourself. You go into a library and not read no book. But because I was a student for so long, the library to my mind is a place of focus. It's a place of study. So it's like triggered this thing. When I'm there, I'm very productive. And so
I'm glad we share that. Like, because it is the college thing, right? I worked at the library in college. It's my thing. But it's like, it's productive. So when on days when I don't have any other children, which is just twice a week, I go to the library. And those days are sacred to me because that's when I get all my things done.
And your body, like, no, it can kick into not laundry mode, not whatever.
Right.
And so I think that's the first question I asked. And then secondly, it's really just saying, okay, I told my friend that Jesus worked, or God worked 6 days and he rested a 7th day. So it's not to be legalistic and like, I have to work 6 days and I can't do anything on Sunday or whatever day you think the Sabbath is, Saturday, right? But it's more of the intention behind it. So if you worked hard throughout these days, even if you work 3 days a week and you say, okay, I'm gonna work 3, rest 3, right? Whatever thing works for your lifestyle and your responsibilities. But when you're working, you're intentionally working. You're working unto Christ. Yeah. But then when you're resting, honey, I rest unto Christ, okay? Yes. I get in my bed, I put on my onesie, I watch my shows, and it's not like I have to read the Bible and I have to listen to sermons. No. She's resting. She's eating ice cream. Yeah. She's doing her thing. So, especially women, we have to just change our mindset about how we see what we're required to put out into the world. Honey, let us be known, we have to single-handedly rotate the world every day. And I'm like, that's not our job. Your job is to do this little bitty thing. And if it's something that's looming, if you don't want to do it, then just stop saying you're going to do it. Yep. If you feel like this task, I have to blog every week and it's looming every week, girl, stop blogging. Agreed. It's not it, you know. You should be excited. We're excited to meet up every. If our schedule, like if our day jobs change our schedule around, we still like, okay, girl, well, I gotta do this, but how can we get it back together and saying like, oh well, we just won't do it because we're excited about this. And so I don't know. I think hopefully that helps some people. I think it's just a mindset thing and giving yourself space and grace and deciding if the things that are giving you anxiety are giving you anxiety because it's pushing you to be better, or it's because God is trying to tell you these are not things you have to do. Right. And if it's stuff you need to do, then you got to figure out a way to get around it. And it's not like work at your day job. At your day job, you should focus, if you can, on the work that they require of you. But then you can't go here, you can't go there. You wake up earlier, you go to bed later. Right. You do it in smaller chunks. Instead of saying you're going to put our blog out every week, you do it twice a month. Like, you got to just figure out a way that you can live in a way that's peaceful and Christ is pleased with it. Because you can be 100 million YouTube followers and God is like, I ain't asked you to do all that. No, you're doing too much. And now you don't have all the things that he calls you to do and space for the experiences and the things that he wants for you. So.
True. I love it. Yeah. Thank you.
So yeah, thanks Ashley for that question. She didn't even know she was giving me a question, but it was just a chat we had. And I said, this is a good thought. And I hope you guys enjoyed this segment as well. And yeah, y'all comment below. Let us know your thoughts about your rest and your work cycles. If you have them, if they're healthy, if you need to redo them in 2020, all the things about rest and work cycles.
Yes, we read the comments, and then other women read the comments too. So you inspiring and helping us as well as other people who read the comments. So hop down there, show us some love.
Yes.
All right, so we are bringing this segment back. It's been a couple of weeks, but it is time for Poodles and Pit Bulls.
Yes,
and this is where we talk about, it's been a while. This is where we talk about our pet peeves.
Yes.
And we tell you, don't judge us. It is a space of grace, as we were just talking about. So don't judge us. You start us off, Shana. What's a pet peeve?
This is the biggest pet peeve.
Yes.
Okay? And I heard it, and I thought it was stupid then, and I mean, no shade to people who said, somebody said it yesterday. Our pastor said it all the time, and I think it's dumb. And this is it. I'm sorry, I love my pastor, but this part of it, I'm like, this don't make no sense. If you're on time, you're late. And if you're 15 minutes early, you're on time. No. It doesn't, time don't work like that. Time works as if you want me to be somewhere at 7:30, I arrive at 7:30. If you secretly wanted me to be there at 7:15, say 7:15. Because what you don't get to do for me, and this is the person who is highly, like, if there's an autonomy scale of value, I highly value autonomy and being in control of my life and time. What you don't get to do is secretly want me to be somewhere early. Me being early feels like a waste of time. Like, I could be cleaning out my car, I could be getting gas, I could be talking to my sister and my mom, saying that we don't live in the same, I could be doing things for these secret 15 minutes. That you want me to be in a place, but you don't tell me you want to be there at that time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, if the party started at 6, tell me 6. If you want me to be there at 5:30, tell me 5:30. But don't have a secret, backhanded desire for me to be early. Because your feelings going to be hurt. Because I, in fact, will not be early. I don't need to be late. But that's a different problem that I'm working on. It's not nobody else's problem. Right. But what is your problem is you telling me, girl, I want you to be here at 6, and then you being mad I'm not being there at 5:45 because I won't, because I can't, because I'm not.
No.
So I hate that. That's a stupid saying that some man made up, and now the world subscribes to it. No, I don't. So take that off.
I am big about time and being early. However, I totally agree, because I factor in, like, okay, I'm going to be at this place 20 minutes early. That means going back to the task that I've timed out. In this time, I know I'm checking this email, I'm posting this thing, I'm sending this message. Because you are not going to infringe upon my time.
Correct.
Like, I have things to do, so I totally
But see, this is the thing. You say, okay, I'm going to be early. But in their mind, you on time or you late. No. I'm, in fact, if I'm there at 7:15, I'm supposed to be there at 7:30. I am, in fact, early.
Yes.
And therefore, if you need help preparing for something, sure, I'm available.
Yeah.
Or if I get 15 minutes to woosah, like I go to church on Saturdays and it starts at 5, and I like to get there at 4:45 because I like to say hey to the people, right? I like to sit down. I like to prepare my heart and mind. But when I get there at 4:45, you're not telling me I'm late, or you're not telling me I'm on time, and you need me to usher something. No. This is my time to prepare. If you want me to be here at 4:45, you should have said that, by which I could have prepared at 4:30.
You're right. Yeah, I totally agree.
So I'm 30, and so far I have not subscribed to that. Kind of out of rebellion, kind of because I think it's stupid. And unless I get to a place in my life where I'm forced to subscribe to it because of people that I work with or for, I won't be. Okay?
Well said. Well said. For me, my pet peeve is y'all, I'm just realizing I don't extend a lot of grace as I think about my pet peeve.
Come on. But is it people texting you?
No, it's not. But it's similar.
Oh God. Okay.
I don't like when people ask me questions. Like,
just generally.
And our whole show is called "Girl, I Got Questions."
But we talked about this title too. Please explain, because I'm done. All right.
Okay. Here's the thing. It's not like, and I was a teacher, so that's also problematic.
I mean, who are you?
Okay. You can ask me questions. I would love to answer them, explore them with you. I'm here for it. I don't like when people ask me the following kinds of questions. Like, if I've sent you an email and now you're asking me questions that were answered in the email that you read, it's a different thing if you didn't read it. But there are people who will read the email and then ask me the question. That's disrespectful. I love words. You see my text messages. They are typically long. I put thought into my words. So if you just don't pay attention to them or hear, it drives me crazy. Okay. So don't do that. Don't ask me questions if I just said that. Like if I just said it 5 minutes ago and now you're asking me. And then lastly, don't ask me questions that I feel you should know the answer to. For example, my mom, and she watches this. I love you. She asks me every week, did y'all make it to church today? Girl, I go to church every week. Don't ask me that. Don't ask me that. So I just don't like to be questioned.
You don't like small talk because all of those are small talk vibe questions.
Yeah, that's a better way of putting it. Yeah,
she's like, don't ask me questions, okay?
It's stressful.
Girl, I got questions. It is a waste of time on y'all.
Yeah. With that being said, Shana is firing me, and we got a new host.
Well, me, no. I love that. I mean, I get that, and I think that this segment is so fun because it teaches people how to treat you. It teaches people like. Some people completely, I think half of our church completely subscribe to the 15-minute early, you on time idea. Mm-hmm. But I don't. And I'm like, this is how I live. This is what I live. Yeah. You know, and so people know how to interact with you. If you expect Shana to be early off GP, she not. Mm-hmm. So if you need her to be there early, go ahead and say something to her beforehand, right? And like people in ministries know that's how I roll. I'm not going to do it. And the same way, you know, now I know. Let me check the email or the text message before I ask her. Now, what is this again?
But let me see how I feel bad. Don't do that. It's okay.
Don't talk to her generally.
Now, that's what's going to come down to. Like, oh, you don't
I don't actually like people with voices. They are annoying to me. No, I mean, I don't feel bad. Listen, if that's what you feel, that's what you feel. Because women, we always are taught to feel bad about how we truly feel and suppress these things. If you don't like dumb questions, then you don't like them.
No. Yeah.
Google first, okay?
There you go.
Google first.
Yeah. I am working on me though, so.
Yeah, see, I'm working on being on time. I'm not working on being early, but on time. And you working on having a little bit more grace when people ask you dumb questions or questions that they should know the answers to.
Yes.
I like this segment. I think we explore things about ourselves that we probably wouldn't say, but for us forcing it out.
Yeah, I like it. Let us know some of your pet peeves.
What are they? Let us know your poodles and pet peeves. Pit bulls, pet peeves, all those things in the comments below. Yeah,
and if you have not clicked the subscribe button, go ahead, do that. And then when you finish watching, share this with a friend.
Yes, love all that. All right, this segment we've done once before, and it's called To Go Plate. Now, you know that family member who comes to the barbecue, right? And before everybody done ate, she already got a Tupperware that's a to-go plate, something that she can have later. Mm-hmm. Well, we thought that idea of a to-go plate would be great in this segment where we can give people something that they could take away and put into practice during their normal weeks. So this week, tell us about our to-go plate segment.
Yeah, we're going to follow up from last week's episode where the faith-filled and fabulous segment was about seeking God. Mm-hmm. And so we talked about what are concrete ways to do that. And it can look different from everybody. I think Shana made that point. However, I want to give you a few quick things to take, to wrap up, to go with. To seek God, I feel as though, you know, it's always said, you got to pray. You got to be in conversation with God. He needs to hear your voice, and you need to hear his voice. Talk to him. It's your daddy. The other one would be worship music. You know, God is God. Go in reverence to him and just worship him and get those lyrics into your spirit. Just the power of saying hallelujah to him, worshiping him, recalling who he is and just who he is. There's power in that, and that's a concrete way to seek him, because once you start to feel him, you become more familiar with him. Right. And then the other one, and it's most important, I would say, is to read the Bible. This is his word. This is his voice. You're going to have a hard time hearing God when you worship, hearing God when you pray, if you have not read his word. And of course, another way to seek him, and I wasn't going to do a fourth one, but is to join a church, or get in a community of believers, and watch who you're associating yourself with. But back to the word, I know it can sometimes be overwhelming, because the language is lofty, or it's just like what has happened is a long time ago, it's not in chronological order, all the things. But just some quick ways to start doing this very important thing when seeking God is start with the Psalms. Or choose a book that you're going to start with. An even smaller bite-sized way to go about it is to, for the pastors that you listen to, the church that you go to, whatever their passage of scripture is for that week, go read that entire chapter and just say, for this week, I'm going to read this whole chapter every day, or I'm going to read a couple of chapters from this book every day. And the same with, if you got a favorite scripture, start with that whole chapter that scripture is taken from. Or head over to my YouTube channel. There's some bite-sized messages for you there.
Yes.
But there are just ways to start a little bit at a time in reading his word, because that is the most important, most significant, most impactful, most transformational way to seek God is to be in his word. Do you have other...
I think that one was good too, because we, again, as Christians and people who are following Christ, have to have grace with ourselves. So don't say, I have to read the Bible. Like, you can read this, one page of the Bible, and it takes 7 days, and God is like pleased with that. He's not pressed about you getting from cover to cover.
Yeah.
Because you can read I done read whole books and I can't tell you what to say. So that's not the point of this. And I think also for me, seeking God has been like, if something makes me feel weird, being like, God, why does that make me feel uncomfortable? And really digging into like where he's trying to show me some holes or places of resistance or people that's like, I used to love hanging out with them. Now every time I'm around, I just feel like, they gotta wait. And like, kind of like, okay, God, what is that? Learning more about that. Because it feels very lofty. It feels like, do everything that's spiritual. But there are concrete things. Like, for example, the Bible tells us to love the lost. So you're like, well, I'm just going to start volunteering with a homeless shelter.
Yeah.
And see what, and
that's
that,
a good
and then
one,
be
serving.
Like, serving, right? And then they're like, okay, maybe homeless aren't my ministry, so maybe my ministry is kids, and just keep going, because God gives us very specific things that are not lofty, but we can find Him there.
Yep.
We can find Him in people who are grieving. I'm just gonna volunteer at the bereavement team and just try to help there. And then from there, God wants us to find Him. So once we seek Him, He will make Himself readily available. He wants us to see Him too. So churches are a great way, because they have so many different places you can easily plug in and like not reinvent the wheel.
Yeah,
I think those are good. Those are good things that are bite sized that we need to just be. I think the whole thing is just having a positive attitude. Like, yes, I did it. Instead of saying, I could do more.
Right. And whatever, go ahead right now and dismiss the people in your life who are going to try to tell you, no, you need to go to Sunday service, you need to go to Bible study and be in a small group, you need to read the Bible cover to cover. No, you need to, I have 4 kids and they are very different. There are some things that one child is going to excel at and the other one, honey, let me tell you, does not, okay? And they all have their strengths, and they all are different ages. So God knows the same about you as His child, where you are and what you can do, what you're capable of in this season. He wants to just see your commitment. And as you grow, as you go from reading one scripture to a whole chapter, to a whole book, to going to church on Sunday, however He leads you, He is pleased. And Jesus is cheering you on. Sorry, I just had to, because people will try to make you feel bad that you're not doing what they doing.
Yeah, doing these long, lofty prayers. Yeah. And, sometimes when I go, pastor or preach, rather, and then people, they say things like, to the angel of this house who is the head of my life, blah, blah, blah. I don't say all that. And at first I was like, oh, I don't even know, trying to write down. And then I asked my, where did it come from? It's like, oh, this is how old churches, and I didn't go to an old church. I went to a church that was a lot more progressive, and we did rap and the children's ministry, right? So we didn't do that. And so I was like, oh, okay. I thought that was something that was against me as not knowing, but it's really just religion. Yeah. And what we're seeking when you're seeking God is relationship. And you'll get the religion along the way, and you keep what you like and you discard what you don't, right? But that's not the point of seeking God. That's kind of the culture around Christianity, especially in America specifically, because every culture of Christians in different countries have different practices too. So
you serve God, not all these extra people, and God is, or these denominations or whatever. God is going to convict you and lead and guide on what He wants you to do. You just got to start somewhere.
Yes. Well, thank you for that. I know that was a question. Some people how do I seek? And hopefully these were practical tips to take away how you're seeking God in our to-go plate segment this week.
This segment is called Let It Burn from Usher's Confessions album. And we just confess things that we want to get off our chest or just put out there for you. So enjoy. What you got? What you confessing this week?
So my confession is I hate online dating. I think this might be a necessary tool for me because the traditional routes ain't working. And so I'm just trying. I want to. Faith without works is dead, so at least, Lord, I'm working. But literally somebody messaged me and I was like, ugh, Like, it's not him.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that I'm just not, I don't like it. I don't like the text part of it. I don't like not knowing much about you and like pulling those teeth. I'm much more comfortable with people that I know, and that conversation has become naturally. But I guess you don't get to know people without getting to know people.
Yeah.
But I just don't like it. And I'm trying to do it, and my friend's doing it. She going on dates, and she's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. So I'm confessing to y'all because I can't tell her that I hate this. I hate it here.
Yeah.
Adulthood is the worst hood. But I'm trying.
I love it, and I am so excited because, as some of y'all know, I'm going to officiate her wedding. So this is great news for me. I think it's necessary in this day and age. We have two of the couples in my and Shana's life. They met through online dating, and they have such beautiful marriages. So I'm a proponent of it.
I'm taking all that positivity in.
Yes.
Like,
actually three. Yes.
I try to check the app like with a smile because it's hard to be like annoyed when you're smiling. So I'm like, let's check in.
Yes.
Let's see. I hate it, but at least I'm gonna say I did it and nothing else. I'm gonna be like, the Lord gonna be like, well, at least you try, baby girl. At least you try.
Right.
So, that's my confession. What's your confession this week?
Okay, it's not that major, but I do need to tell you.
Okay.
Y'all know she's my stylist. I do not own a full-length mirror. I told you this when we met, and you told me to go get a mirror. I still haven't. We are almost at a year. This is the ghetto party. Ratchet righteous. This is ratchet. Every morning, I stand on my bathtub, and I look at myself through the vanity mirror. And my son, this is what he does because his tub isn't parallel to his vanity. He goes to his sister's bathroom, stand on the toilet, and uses their.
So you ain't got you one, you ain't got the baby's one, you ain't got your son one.
Nope. And Sean doesn't look at himself.
Sean's like dress pants to dress pants.
Yeah. And he always looks good, so it works for him. But we do not own a full-length mirror.
Pass the collection plate and give my girl a foot. I don't have time for this, okay? Walmart got them, okay?
I know, y'all. I have no reason, no rational explanation.
I'm upset. I'm turning my body against it.
Okay,
it's time. Stop playing. And every week, y'all comment, DM us on Instagram at Girl I Got Questions TV every week to see if she got a full-length mirror. The only girl in the world. And she's raising 3 girls. And none of these children know how they look. Maybe at least they're not going to be vain because they're not concerned. Or they're going to be like the kids that's like, they always mismatch because they ain't got no mirror.
I hope not. I'm going to work on it. Hold me accountable.
But you see them, so you make sure I got the dough looking good.
Right.
Shout out to your son who I'm done with this. I'm done with this lady.
Yes.
Oh, God. We hope you enjoyed Confessions, which our segment's called Let It Burn. We talk about things we need to get off our chest. We want y'all to know. Let us know y'all confessions so we can, you got to confess, then be forgiven. So I forgive you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
But I need you to get your life in order.
I will.
All right. All right, guys, this is one of my favorite segments, Fashion Foretelling, where I tell you guys about tips, tricks, and trends to be looking out for this week. Last week, we talked about bomber jackets, but this week, we're talking about lace, right? Lace used to be a very elderly, grandma, sophisticated, refined type of material. Women who wore lace really were either wanted to be bougie or very buttoned up. But lace has since taken a more relaxed turn. It's still definitely for evening gowns and wedding dresses, but they've also made lace something that you can wear day to day, day to night. So I want to show you 2 pieces that I brought that are lace just so you can get some ideas of what to wear. The first is a lace sheer jacket. I love this white lace jacket. It's a 2X by American Rags. And the reason why I like this, A, is because it has that same bomber feel like we discussed last week. But also, a lot of my women who are plus size, for whatever reason, which I don't agree with, don't like to show their arms. And so having a lace jacket is a really great way to still have it breathable in the summer or if you're inside, but still cover a quote-unquote problem area or areas just not your favorite. This also adds a really cute, chic vibe to any outfit. So a lace bomber is a great thing to have in your closet and a great way to go. The second item, which is one Yasmine
I
wants to
know,
say,
y'all. I'm so excited about this.
yes, this is a black lace dress. Now, black dresses, especially black lace, used to really feel like funeral dresses, but the cut and the design of this lace dress really gives it a more elevated kind of look. So the sleeves are obviously sheer, but they have a small bell. I hope you can see how they go out like that. They have a small bell sleeve, and which creates a more like vibe, almost disco. And then also with this high neckline, again giving it a more pulled together Victorian vibe. But then it's a short dress. It hits right at the knee, so it's not all the way long. So it's mixing lots of elements. So where you're like, oh, is this a buttoned up dress? Is this a funky dress? Is this a cool dress? Is this a young dress? They took little elements of different eras and put them together. It also has an invisible zipper, which just means you can't see the zipper. It's black, but then when it zips, the material closes together. Again, keeping it just cute and sleek. And then the actual dress itself has a black lining, so it's not sexy. But lace could go sexy if you wanted to do a sheer top or something like that that's lace. You can go sexy, you can go sophisticated, you can go cute, you can go casual. Lace really right now is having a moment of transitioning.
I love lace.
So
feminine and soft, beautiful. I'm all about
but
lace.
then I like lace to be more hard and grungy. So when I wear lace, I do combat boots, I'll do a dark lip, I'll do a smoky eye. Like, I like the juxtaposition of like lace being a traditionally feminine material, but making it something that is not normally. So.
And that's why you're the fashion foreteller.
I try to foretell some cute little things.
Yes.
So y'all try lace. If you see lace, don't automatically just have a thought in your mind. Lace could really be whatever you want it to be. Like this black dress, if you did this black dress with combat boots and a spiked belt, it would be a lot grungier than if you did it with black pumps and like a new lip, right? Yeah. It really can take one piece and it can transition lots of different ways. Well, that's the Fashion Foreteller this week. I hope you guys try some things out and let us know. Follow me on Instagram at The Fashion Chase and on YouTube at The Fashion Chase. Y'all know what it is. Alright, this is Yasmine's favorite segment and one that I've learned so much about, so I'm excited to hear what she has for us today. Faith-filled and fabulous.
Yes, because you cannot be filled with faith and not be fabulous. You cannot be fabulous if you are not filled with faith. So, yes, this is one of my favorite segments. And I'm going to take us to the book of Luke this week. And chapter 15. And y'all, I know, it's a little different. I'm going to give y'all a full story here. So, this is one of the parables Jesus tells about the lost son. Dude had two sons. The younger one was like, Daddy, look, I want all my money. I want my inheritance now. Dad's like, cool. Go ahead, take your money. Son, he goes, he squanders it on prostitutes, etc. He gets to a point where he's like broke. He ain't got nothing left. There's a famine. He starts working for a man. But it gets so low, he like, I'm about to start eating this pig slop. And then he comes to himself and is like, wait, there are people working for my daddy who are doing better than me. Working for him. So I'm like, I quit, I give up, I surrender. Let me go back to my daddy. Ask my daddy if I can at least work for him. I don't deserve to be his son, but yo, can you give your boy a job? He goes back. Before he even gets there, his daddy sees him. He's pumped, he's turned up. He goes running to his son. He's like, hey, go get a fatted calf for my son. We about to turn up, we about to have a party. Cool. The older brother, here's what I want to focus in on.
Okay.
The older brother, like, got a whole attitude about this. He in his feelings, he mad, he gets angry that his dad is just like accepted little brother back like this. So we're gonna hone in on verse 29. So the dad is like, yo, I want you to like come on into this party, we having a good time. Big brother says, but he answered his father, look, all these years I've been slaving for you and never disobeyed your orders. Yet you never gave me even a young goat so I could celebrate with my friends. 30 says, but when this son of yours who has squandered your property with prostitutes comes home, you kill the fattened calf for him. 31 says, my son, the father said, you are always with me and everything I have is yours. What I want to talk about from these verses is complaining, comparing, and complicating things. Because, sis, we want you to win, and we cannot win if we are doing any of those things, comparing, complaining, or complicating. That is exactly what the big brother did. He says, I've been here this whole time, and you've never given me even a young calf. He's comparing himself to the baby brother. He's also complaining because he's like, I've been here slaving, he says. I never disobeyed you. Like, I've been your ride or die. I'm the good child. And then the big part is like he complicates things, as we learn in verse 31, where the dad says, my son, the father said, you are always with me and everything I have is yours. Like, it's that simple. You tripping, wilding out, comparing yourself to your brother when it's simple. You're my child. You're here with me. Everything here is yours. And we do that in our lives. Because we look at sis and she's winning. She got all the YouTube subscribers, followers. She just booked a new endeavor. She's growing. She's prosperous. She's selling all kind of products. And we like, man, I've been going to church. I've been seeking God. I've been reading the Bible. I've been doing all these things. Or I've been nice to people. Whatever you've been doing in your season. But we start comparing ourselves to the sister who's winning. And then while we're there, we are forced to start complaining because it's like, God, it's not right. It's like, this is horrible. I want to grow. Again, wherever you are. But it's so simple, friends. Stop complicating it. It's simple. You are with God. God is with you. The Holy Spirit is inside of you. So everything that is His, which is everything because He created it all, God is saying it's yours. Yeah, you have been here with Him the whole time. You have been obedient. You have been slaving for Him or serving Him. So what you tripping for? All of this is yours. So I just want to encourage us in this segment this week to know whose you are, know who your daddy is, and know that whatever he owns is yours. So you don't have to compare, you don't have to complain, and you ain't got to complicate it because it's simple. That's your daddy. He has it, he owns it, and he says you have access to it. And that's all I got for us this week.
That's so interesting because if I'm being honest, I'm team older brother. I'm like, exactly, y'all tripping, right? But I think what God had to show me was everybody could have done something differently because the father could have told the older brother. And sometimes as parents or as friends or whatever, we have to verbalize, I am here for you. The father could have said, I know it's your birthday. Let me know what you want to do. Versus saying, oh, duh, you know this is all yours. Like, apparently he didn't know.
Yeah.
Because he been holding his grudge that you ain't know he was holding. So we have to also vocalize to people. And I'm working on telling my friends, like, hey, telling them that I'm here for them, telling them that I want to help them, telling them, hey, I know it's your birthday coming up. Can I help you plan a party? Yeah. Vocalizing this verse and being like, they know, I'm the party girl. Come to me. The father could have done better there, right? And then as a sibling, and I even had to lose with my siblings, learning how to rejoice in what your siblings, are going through. Like, something when y'all was growing up didn't happen to where if my sister went on and she came back, I would be happy for her to come back. And you have to have that disposition towards anybody, but especially your family, that you're happy to see them turn from sin. Because really that's what was happening. Yeah. It wasn't about the calf to God. It was about the turning from sin, but we make it about material things. So you're going to buy her a new car, but when I turned 16, I had to push old Brown Betty over here, right? Instead of being like, thank God my parents got the money so when my younger sibling came up that they could have a new car or something like that. And then just the younger child, he shouldn't have left in the first place. So he need a little bit of self-love, though. The daddy probably couldn't be like, let's have a party, but now you got to work. Because apparently you tried it, okay?
Yes.
So I think everybody has a role in that. But I, for the longest time, was like, God, I don't see no problems with what the older brother was
same. I was there.
He was working. Right. He was working.
And I've been there. I have been because I do.
Being the perfect church.
Right,
yes. We are, of our family, the perfect
Yes. Kids. I've done all of that. And even like in my Christian walk with God, it's like, God, I am doing it. Like, I'm by no means perfect, but I am trying my best. I am giving my all. So holla at your girl.
Right.
So you're right. I like that idea of like communicating, saying how you feel, good or bad. Like, let your dad know you're feeling some type of way. Let your son know you love him. But to your point, it's about turning away from sin. Yeah. Right. And God was like, I don't care what you've done. I don't care if you've been spending money on prostitutes. I don't care if you've been to church and whatever. I'm just happy that you turn from sin. And then the other thing is, with the older son, it's just like, God, again, going back to reading his word, seeking him, if you know him, then you know you have access.
Yeah.
And God doesn't always have to, he will tell you, he will let you know, he will show up miraculously and be like, nah, this me, my name is on it. But he's saying here, I ain't gotta tell you. You should know that you're my child and
it's
all this is yours.
In the relationship.
Yeah.
And then frankly, if you want to be honest about it, the son was talking about how I've never disobeyed you. Now, if we look in the spiritual term, God is always right. So it's like you really doing this for works. You're not doing it because you love God. You're not working for your father because you love him. You work as like he would recognize what you've done. So that's not the right posture either, which is also sin. So you ain't perfect either. But then in a fleshly sense, like if you do every single thing your mother and father tell you to do, if you're a parent, close your ears, then you're really not walking into the will of God. Because God gonna call us to do things that our parents do not understand and our parents do not agree with. And so I'm like, the other side, I'm like, you should have done some things for yourself. Everybody asked you, live your life. Like, you should have lived your life, and you're really jealous that he lived his life,
right?
And you ain't go out and live your own life because you wanted to marry your girl, but you decided to stay here and.
Because you was trying too hard, because you was fixed on works.
Right, you're trying too hard. So it's lots of layers to that one. So
I
like that. And as you talk about seeking God, that may be something to read and ask God, where do you fall? You're the father, you're the older son, or you're the younger son. Yeah. And where does God trying to free you from either wanting to be out and rebellious, wanting to be accepted, and so you're doing all the things that other people want you to do instead of listening to God, or not knowing where you live in the faith and knowing Christ as a good father who wants you to have these things. So come on, faithful and
thanks. Get us together. I love it, sis.
That's good. I had to go read that too because I have all the feelings about it. Okay?
All right, Luke chapter 15.
Yes. Well, thank you for that segment. We love that one. And then now our next segment is gonna be I Rise.
Yes. Who do we have this week? Let me tell you, for our new folks, I Rise. This segment is all about the woman who has, or women who have asked and answered the hard questions in their lives. And so, who are we honoring this week?
We're gonna talk about my girl. Okay. Her name is Mary Beatrice Davidson.
Okay.
Now, and her married name is Kenner. I should say that for the folks who be hating. Okay. So Mary Beatrice Davidson Kenner. She died in 2006, but she was born in 1912. And guess what she created?
What?
She created the sanitary belt, also known as the pad.
Okay.
So shout out to sis.
Yeah.
What was they doing before 1912 though? I mean,
Agreed.
she wasn't even born until 1912.
So do we know when she invented it?
Okay, yeah. So, well, let me tell you a little bit about it. So she created and developed the sanitary belt, but because of racial discrimination, because she was a black woman who created this, it was a prevented adoption. So they didn't even take her patent, accept the use of the sanitary belt for 30 years.
Wow.
For 30 years, they was like, nah.
Wow.
And sis, women was out here struggling.
I can't even imagine.
What you do pre-pads? Like, we struggling, right? And so she was born in North Carolina from a family of inventors. So her father was credited for his initial interest in the discovery of inventions, and he has a patent on the clothing press. Her grandfather did light signals for trains, and so her sister invented some board games. Like a family of inventors. So you see how what you do and you following your dreams could then inspire your lifeline. And so she did lots of other inventions, but when she invented the sanitary belt, she knew she was onto something because there was a need that was needed to be met for women. And even though they prevented the adoption of that sanitary belt for 30 years, it was eventually adopted, as now we know it's passed, and it's like probably the highest sold thing for women in the world. I made that last part up, but I'm just sure that it's necessary.
So necessary.
Yeah, so let's do 2 snaps for my girl, Mary Beatrice, okay?
2 snaps and a slay?
And a slay.
Okay, cool.
Okay, because she helping me.
Right.
Okay? All right, so 2 snaps and a slay for Mary Beatrice. Here we go. 2 snaps and a slay for Mary, helping us here with the sanitation belt, a.k.a. the pad. So
Thanks, Mary.
Thank you, girl. All right, y'all. Our last segment of today is Gas Me Up. This segment is for the girls yelling, "Hey, hey, hey," in their Instagram stories. and on Snapchat. So this week, your Gas Me Up song, friend.
I gotta shout out our girl, one of our viewers, Sunny Delight, because she reminded me of this gem. Y'all, my song for the week is Jaquan, Tipsy.
Everybody in the club getting tipsy. Everybody, yes. That's a good one.
Yes, turn all the way up, gas me up, yes.
Yes, well, I'm happy that you went there because mine's a throwback joint too, and really for one verse, but this one verse made the song bomb. Okay, so it's Terror Squad, Lean Back. Okay,
yes.
And yeah, Remy's verse. R to the easy, M to the wizard. Like, do
I
become Remy Ma? Okay, so everybody else's board verses was fine. Shout out to y'all. But Remy Ma put that whole song on a different map. And it just takes me back to amazing memories in high school. So Terror Squad, Lean Back is my Gas Me Up song of the week.
I'm going to have to go re-listen to her verse.
Yeah. I mean, she go hard. Like, and then after that, she went to jail. So, you know, but so I was like, who is she? And then I was like, don't worry about it. She off the scene for a minute. Yeah. But she back and she coming with hits.
Yeah.
So shout out to Remy Ma when you watch this, not if, but when you watch this, we giving you shots out. And that's my song of the week. It's been gassing me up.
I love it.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for watching this week's episode of Girl, I Got Questions TV.
Yes, and we want you to keep on asking questions because on the other side of the questions is a woman who is confident, who is bold, who is fabulous and amazing and just a bum.com. Yeah. And baby, we want you to be that woman. Jesus, am I ever
good? Right? No, I was with you. I was right there with you, friend. All right.